thought I'd make another little film. I was kind of thinking about information and access to information and the way we might find out useful things, and health professionals. Anyway, this was about, I was at my GP's some little while ago, probably linked into having a smear test or something similar, and I think this is tough to talk about, tougher than I thought. Anyway, the conversation came round with the GP to how do I protect myself against bladder infections, because people with MS are inordinately susceptible to such like. And my GP and I were discussing sexual health and how to look after yourself, how to deal with those things, how to have the best sexual experiences without paying a high price of discomfort or ill health. Anyway, she, it wasn't anything that was new to me, having been fortunate enough to do a lot of work around sexual health associated with theatre performance and so on, linked into community, lesbian and gay community issues and the challenge of HIV/AIDS in the 90s. Not that it isn't still a challenge, but anyway, this was then. So I learnt a lot about sexual health and sexual practices at that time. So fortunately for me now, in the situation I'm in with a changing body, this is useful. So in the discussion with the GP, anyway, she suggested things, like maybe latex gloves, and which are okay and which are the best ones, and then also lubricants and so on. And she said that I think, I just can't quite remember, but I think it was somebody within the health department, the localised surgery, I don't know what they're called, what the level of it is, but maybe it was localised to this area, but a bit bigger than just that surgery around about. Anyway, the lead on sexual health had come round and demonstrated to the GPs which were the best. Makes me laugh because I kind of imagine yourself in the position of being demonstrated the quality of lubricants as a GP. Anyway, so she was saying, this one's the best one to use because it's not oil-based, or it's not this or that. And, I personally have preferences around which lubricants are the best ones to go for, and kind of a dislike, really, of latex gloves. And I'm curious about whether I could. I didn't ask the question, actually. I should have done that, about whether I can have quality lubricants and other things supplied on the NHS because of my health condition. Who knows? That's a note to self to find out about that. But anyway, the thing I was curious about was a GP gets valuable information about a range of things linked to sexual health, like lubricants, like other equipment. But if I hadn't been in the surgery asking the questions and looking to protect myself around bladder infection or such like, then how would that information have come to me? Like, I'm not generally seeking contraceptive information or so on. I'm not attempting conception, for example, as within a same-sex partnership. So, what do they call that? I'm so out of it I don't even remember the title. Assisted, the fertility stuff. I'm not involved with that. So really, my personal connection into the health professionals around sexual health, particularly at that level, practical, what to do thing, isn't, there is no connection in. So I was curious about for people as well who maybe aren't that comfortable. I mean, like I say, I'm in the fortunate position of having worked around sexual health stuff, and I've, linguistically I find myself at ease with talking to my GP. I mean, that says a lot about her, and that wouldn't be true of all medical professionals, but generally speaking, I'm reasonably able to ask for and have the conversations that I need to have. But I'm aware, tons of people aren't, and so I was thinking about, so where's this thing that we used to do and joke about and make theatre humour and references to safe sex workshops. This was some years ago, and I'm curious about that where would be the place that people with disabilities particularly, but really anyone in general gets access to that kind of level of the quality of information that you need through health professionals, and also how good outside of the sexual health specialisms that are around, within the NHS remit and format, where do you get, where does that, who would do that work? I mean, I guess lay people could put on a sexual health workshop, but how easy would that be? I mean, I'd imagine you have to have it. I can't just remember it now who it was that put on the safe sex seminars, whether it was agencies like Mesmac, and particularly around men having sex with men, that aspect of sexual health, and whether that was, they were more at the forefront of having those discussions and getting to grips with it because of the huge tragic and destructive consequences of not being able to address sexual health. And it's interesting to me too that, from what I can gather within the media, that the attentiveness to sexual health has sort of gone backwards from, that the STD infections are up and so on. And anyway, so it's a question for me. Where do I get that kind of information if I wasn't in a situation where I felt able to ask for it? Because it's obviously a really significant thing for certainly people with disabilities who you may not even have the chance to be in a position to explore that with another person, or maybe considering embarking on something that isn't in motion now. But so where do you get that information? And it led me to thinking about this, to thinking about social media, and is it possible for there to be a high level of sharing of a peer with beer, no, sharing of information of value to making informed decisions, but also having an alright time with your sexual health as a disabled person. Hey, topic of the day, anyway.